feel like I look so baby with my hair in the middle part. Hello everyone, my name is Ella. Welcome to another vlog. And yes, I do have purple freckles because I want to, that's why. Like I promised in a couple of previous videos, today I'm going to be talking about a new job that I have. So for those of you that do not know what GoPuff is, it's basically a snack delivery service. The name GoPuff is actually because when this service was first started, they delivered like smoking accessories and stuff like that, and then that kind of evolved into snack foods for munchies and stuff like that, and so that is why it is called GoPuff. But basically it's stuff you would find at your local corner store or gas station or stuff like that. So like bags of chips, drinks. We do serve alcohol. We have smoking accessories like jewel pods and stuff like that. We do also have condoms. I had to deliver condoms to someone the other day. So, just basic, little things like that that you just can't be bothered to go to the gas station on your own to get. So you have someone else get these items for you and bring them to you. And that is what I do. I am a delivery driver for GoPuff now. In all honesty, this is a job that I applied for last year when the pandemic had first started and I was back in my school area, and that is where this job is. So that's a little annoying that I have to drive all the way over there, but it's fun because it's all college age students and kids and stuff like that. So most of them tip pretty decently. But before I go into any more of those area specific details about my job, I guess I'll just talk about what the job itself actually is. So like I mentioned, it is a delivery driver. The specific term they use for us is a GoPuff driver partner, because they view us as independent contractors of sorts, in the sense that we choose our own schedule. We decide when we work and if we work in a week, and we choose our hours and stuff like that. So it's all based on us. We're just working for them. So it's our own cars, our own, gas money and stuff like that. And we just show up when we have a shift, and they bring the orders out from the GoPuff facility to our car, and then we have an app that shows us where we're driving, and we just take the deliveries. Most of them are no contact delivery. That's kind of what GoPuff is known for. Even before the pandemic, it was just sort of you order snacks, we leave them on your door, and you get snacks, and you don't have to interact with anyone. So we've widely remained that way since the pandemic started, obviously. The only time that we come into contact with customers at all is if they order alcohol or cigarettes or anything like that, in which case we have to scan their ID. Sometimes we can do it while they're holding it, so we don't really have to touch them. Sometimes we do have to take the ID from them if we're having trouble scanning it for some reason. So it's majorly a non-contact job, which is something that I enjoy. One, because we're in a pandemic, and two, because I don't want to say that I'm not a people person, because I do enjoy people and I do enjoy knowing people and stuff like that. But I guess when it comes to strangers and stuff like that, I'm let me just leave you your stuff. I don't have to see you. You don't have to see me. There is no perception going on. You just magically have snacks because I brought them to you. And really, what more could you want in a job? Also, it's really nice because you basically just get to stick to yourself for however long your shift is, except when you're either, delivering or getting your orders brought out to your car. So it's just you in your car for 4 to 8 hours a day, and you get to jam to music. I've started making my way through my huge CD collection that for some reason I specifically keep in my car and never anywhere else. So I'm listening to a bunch of music that I listened to in the 90s and the early 2000s. So it's nostalgia central in my car right now. But it's such a low-key job, and I'm honestly so grateful that it came back up because I honestly forgot that I had applied to it. And then a couple weeks back, they were like, hey, so we're actually are looking for drivers now. Do you want to finish your application? And I was like, I mean, I guess. Why not? So I went through the whole process of like giving them my car information and my driver's license information and stuff like that, under the belief that I was still in the like application process. And then they started sending me all these little like training modules of how to schedule yourself, how to deal with alcohol, how to figure out how much money you're making and stuff like that. And so I got through all the training modules, and they were like, great, you can start whenever you can find a shift on the schedule. And I was like, oh? So that was like, not only was it like unexpected, but I also didn't think it was going to be so no muss, no fuss. It all happened so quickly, and I was just kind of like, wow, I have a job again. And so the way that our scheduling works is that they drop our schedules at 1 p.m. on Fridays, and it's all the schedules for the next week, and it's basically first come, first serve. And so the Friday that I got hired, I didn't finish until 5 o'clock that afternoon. So all of our shifts were gone, so I had to like wait until the next week if I wanted to start working. But the thing about a job like this, where people are like picking up their own shifts and everything and kind of do it all on their own, if something comes up, they'll drop shifts, and you can pick them up as long as you know that you're going to be able to actually cover that shift. So I had a few people that actually dropped shifts for the week that I missed out getting shifts on because of just the timing. So I got my first shift, and I was really nervous about it because just by design, sometimes these jobs can be late hours, and it can entail dealing with drunk people or, people that are frustrated and stuff like that. And there are so many rules, like if someone is drunk, you're not supposed to give them their stuff even though they've already paid for it. And like, we're not supposed to give anything to anyone who's under the influence of weed or anything like that. So it's a lot of stuff to remember, and so it was all very nerve-wracking, trying to remember it all for this first shift that I had. But it was so easy, even having to deal with alcohol and scanning IDs and everything like that. It was so much easier than I anticipated it was going to be. And my first 5-hour shift passed like that. And honestly, that's kind of how all of them have been. I've had 5-hour shifts, I've had up to 8-hour shifts, and they're just so calm. And it's I don't want to say it's completely relaxing, because you are working and you are having stuff that you have to do. But like, you also get to sit in your own car all day, and it's literally just you and your music, and you get to be on your phone whenever you're waiting for new orders to come up, because it's not just you working any time. When you're on shift, there's usually about anywhere from 4 to 7 other people that are also working. And so you basically form a conga line at the facility, and you just kind of wait in this line to get orders, and they'll sign you up to 3, sometimes 4 if it's busy, orders that you take in one trip. And so you just have to kind of wait until you get up to your turn. So sometimes you'll be sitting there for an hour or longer waiting for orders to come through so that you can go deliver some. So it's just really calm, and it's literally just like you in your car. And that is a kind of job that I can get behind. And I'm gonna be real honest, the money is pretty good. It took me a while to figure out how they were trying to explain the payment process, because we get a certain amount of commissions for each delivery that we go on. So say there's 3 deliveries in one trip that I'm making. Each delivery is $3.50 commission that the driver gets. So for 3 different deliveries in one trip, that's $10 $10.50 that you're making from that. And part of something that I still don't understand is that there's like a subsidy rate that we have to meet that often doesn't get met if you're only getting like 1 or 2 orders every hour or every 2 hours and stuff like that. So if it's really slow, then there's also like a $9.75 subsidy rate that they give us per hour as well, to make sure that we're getting up to that rate of pay that they want us to have. So it's very convoluted and confusing, and I'm still not entirely sure that I understand it, but I'm making good money, and so I'm like, this is good. I'm actually like profiting from this and not just spending money on gas and stuff like that. We get the commission, that's part of our pay, and then the subsidy rate if we're not getting enough commissions per hour to make up to that payment rate. Then they also pay us, it's not a lot, it's like basically pennies per mile that we drive while we're on delivery, so we get payment that way. And then we also get tips, and the tips are 100% ours. Like that's our money. They can't tax it, they can't do anything like that. And we do get tips through the app. It's on the GoPuff app. I don't know why I didn't think to show the GoPuff app at the beginning of this video, but so with GoPuff, I don't want to show the homepage because it has my address on it, but it basically has this long list of things that you can buy, and then you go in there and put your order, and then you can put in a tip when you order. The one thing I will say though is that with GoPuff, it doesn't really have like a percentage, so like you don't know if you're tipping 20 or 25% or anything like that unless you are good at math. They usually just have like $1, $2, $3, and then you can put in your custom tip if you want to do more or less. And so we get tips that way. And then there's also a post-delivery tip that they can basically tip you again if they feel the need to. I've only gotten one of those so far, which is fine. It's weird. Most people don't really tip at all. Like I said earlier, the college students tip because that's just my generation. But a lot of people don't tip, and most people aren't going to feel the need to tip twice if they do tip once. So I never really expect tips or anything like that. That's just kind of like an added bonus. But most of mine have been through the app. I did have one person the other day that gave me a tip in cash, which I hadn't had before since I started this job, so that was very weird. And the weird thing was that he'd also already given me a tip like on the app as well. So it basically came out to $5 in tips that he gave me, and some of it was in cash and some of it was on the app. So I don't quite understand his thought process with that, but tips range, and I will say that it's all of the suburban nice little cul-de-sac areas. Those are the ones that never tip. Those are all the better off people that don't really view you as a necessity but don't want to go out themselves to get their stuff. Those people don't tip. But the college kids, all the ones there in the university area, I've gotten anywhere from $2 to $7 in a tip, which always surprises me because I'm like, are you sure you want to give me that much money for carrying a bag to your door and leaving it for you to get? Like, it's so funny to me that people want to tip that much. And like I said, I never expect anything. It's just super nice when I get a tip. Like yesterday, I had an order that was literally 2 cases of water, and then it was also one of our bags that had 2 of the 12 packs of canned soda. So it was heavy. And I happened to get there right as whoever had ordered was also getting home. I don't know how that worked out, but I strong-armed the whole thing, both cases of water and the bag on my arm, and just carried them over to where she told me to leave them. And she, she ended up helping me with some of the water cases because, I was carrying them, and she was like, oh my gosh, you're so strong. Here, let me help. And she gave me a $4 tip afterwards. So that was really nice. But yeah, I mean, I've dealt with tips before, but that was more in a fast food situation. That was when I worked at Sonic. And so tips there were usually just like the change so that it could be like a nice even number on their receipt or whatever. So like if they ordered like a $19.79 meal, then they would just give you a 20 and be like, keep the change. So that was a much smaller amount of tips. But this job, let me go over. I've had one paycheck. The next I have the information for. I just haven't received my paycheck yet. So the first week that I ordered was just like 3 shifts that I had to pick up, because I wasn't on the schedule when it dropped. So my first week of working was just like 3 days, and those were all like 5-hour shifts. They weren't anything that were like super long. And that was $293 just in that week alone. And we have bonuses that we get if we go on a certain number of deliveries per week. So like the list they give us is if you make 30 deliveries in a week, you get $50 as a bonus. If you make 60, you get $70 in a bonus. 75 is $90, and 90 orders is $125. I don't know how you would ever make 90 deliveries in a week unless you were literally working an 8-hour day every day that week, which some people do. I mean, I could understand that. Like, this isn't like a 9 to 5 where you're standing at a theme park all day or you're sitting at a desk all day. Like, this is kind of like your own terms and you just kind of chill the all day. So honestly, I feel like 8 hours every day a week wouldn't be so bad at a job like this. But I don't see how you could be able to get 90 orders in a week, just based on the number of orders that I generally see in a shift at work. So, but those are the different levels of bonuses that we get. I only made the first level of bonuses my first week, and honestly that was because I really worked hard. I'd originally only picked up 2 shifts and I got to like 29 orders. So I ended up picking one up for the next day and got above the 30. So I got the extra $50. And then last week was my first week where I actually got to like be there for the schedule drop. So I got to pick up shifts that would work for me. And I got 4 shifts that week. I think it was like, basically it came out to like 25 hours. And I ended up I went on 63 deliveries that week, so I got the next tier of bonuses, so that was like $70. And then on top of everything, the tips and then the commission and then the subsidy rate and everything like that. So my first full actual week with GoPuff, I made $470. And honestly, with gas and stuff like that, it takes it maybe down to about like $390, $400, which still is more than I make in a week with unemployment. So as long as I can like keep getting decent hours and decent amounts of deliveries and stuff like this is going to be a really good job. And it means that I won't have to be on unemployment anymore. So that's good. And the fact that it's just like such a calm job and I just get to literally sit there and listen to music and be on my phone whenever I'm not driving, it's such a nice change of pace. And it also gets me out of the house for a little bit because, as you are all very much aware, this past month or so I have just been absolutely depressed. It's just been the worst. And now that I'm like getting out of my apartment 3 to 4 days a week, and actually getting out there and like earning money, like it's just like, this is only my 3rd week working with them, and I can already tell that I'm just like loads better mood wise and like energy wise and stuff like that, I'm loads better than I was 3 weeks ago. So that's really exciting. And I hope I can keep up with this job for a little while. I'm hoping even once I, start back at Volcano Bay, that this is still something that, at least once or twice a week I can still pick up shifts and drive around and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for this. So yeah, that's how my new job is. That's what's going on with me now. A little bit of housekeeping. I have mentioned in a previous video, a ways back, I don't remember which one, I mentioned that my parents are coming down at the end of April, and then my brother's coming down for like a week, not even, like the first week of May. So there's this video this week, and then next week should be my Universal Yums unboxing, and then videos after that, probably until about the middle of May, are going to be pre-recorded, so they're probably going to be a lot of like discussion, story time type videos. So I apologize for that in advance. I'm really bad at planning on videos to do ahead of time, and story time talk videos are just easier to film in advance. So I'll be talking about a life update in one of those videos, to make up for the life update that I filmed and then deleted on my camera because I was watching it back. I'm trying to think of other like little ideas that I could do. Oh, I am painting something for my my parents. This April is their 30th wedding anniversary. So I'm trying to think of like something to do, like just some small little something, because my mom is in the point of her life where she's like, I don't want things anymore, I don't want stuff, I just want like experiences and stuff like that. And like I get that, but I think also she would like something more if it's something that I like make for her. So I have some ideas. Maybe I'll make a video of me painting that, because I will be doing that before they get down here, because they're down here during their anniversary, so I want to be able to give them their anniversary gift for their anniversary while they're down here. So maybe if I can pull that together, I will make a little video of me painting that. So that'll be one of the videos. But I will be looking around. If you comment on this video, it probably will have to be this video, because next week's video I'll need to have already had more videos filmed and edited and everything, because not this Friday, but next Friday is when my parents come. So by then I'll have to have everything filmed and edited and scheduled to upload to YouTube. So, but today, if you have any ideas or anything, comment on this video, on this GoPuff video, and let me know, and I will see if I can make that work, because after this and next week, it's all pre-recorded. Everything's gonna have to be whatever I can think of that will entertain you, hopefully. So now that that's all out of the way, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and if you would like to be notified of when I post a new video, click on that little bell icon down there at the bottom. If you watch me for Marvel, I will be back this Friday with a discussion video about episode 5 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And if you watch me for my regular videos, like I just mentioned, next week should, fingers crossed, be this month's Universal Yums unboxing video. So, and if it's not, then you'll just get the chatty video next week instead of the week after that. So, you got a good video coming either way. And that about does it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye!